Hey, I'm Nico, and here are 30 fun facts about Pikmin. When the GameCube was first shown, one of the demos we saw was called Super Mario 128 and featured a bunch of Marios running around doing a bunch of things, including picking up and carrying some blocks away. Well, this demo is what actually became the game Pikmin. Originally, Shigeru Miyamoto wanted the game to be centered around two characters, Adam and Eve, that lived in a prehistoric world. Players would observe their lives, making them have children, creating villages, and sending them off to destroy giant creatures and mammoths. At first, the team wasn't so sure of where to go with this whole idea, but once they combined the idea of controlling multiple characters and also carrying stuff around, they knew they had something that had potential. And I have to admit that they truly did. Olimar's spaceship is called the SS Dolphin, which is a reference to the code name that was used for the Nintendo GameCube console, which is, you guessed it, Dolphin. When Pikmin was initially released, the first print of the GameCube disc actually contained a Windows file on it. This means that if you put this inside your Windows PC, you could actually run Pikmin off the official disc. It did need some hacking and tweaking, but still, that's quite funny. The Windows version was actually not the entire game, but it was packed to the brim with developer tools that everyone could fiddle around with. The Japanese commercial for Pikmin featured a song called I No Uta, which ended up being a commercial success and outselling the game itself. I can't play the song right now because of copyright, but I'll leave a link down below if you want to hear it. When booting up the game, you can hear a Pikmin saying Pikmin when the Nintendo logo shows up. Well, on some very rare occasions, instead of the classic Pikmin, you may also hear woo, a Pikmin being annoyed, or a Japanese voice saying something. In the original Pikmin, the yellow ones can actually carry those explosive boulders around. This is their main ability, and at one point it seems like this wasn't the case, as there are unused textures that reveal other Pikmin colors and types carrying bombs around, suggesting that at some point, bombs could be carried by literally every single Pikmins. As you play the game and get your spaceship parts back, the ship's lights will change color to show you're making progress. The lights are off at first, then they turn red, then yellow, green, and finally blue when you're almost done. The title screen actually hides something that you cannot see without using some special tools, but by using those tools, you can scroll a bit to the left and read Toyota, written vertically. This was probably left there by the designer of the user interface for this game, Tohihiko Toyota. The bell that rings at the end of each day was actually inspired by bells that ring in some Japanese rural areas to symbolize the coming of sunset and the time to go back home. By pushing down on the D-pad, Olimar will lay down and start sleeping, and if there's Pikmins around you when you do that, they will carry you back to the onion. Olimar cannot enter the onion though, he'll just bounce off it. If you think the flower on a Pikmin head is just a random one, well, you'd be wrong. It's actually a type of flower that exists in real life, and it's called the Caenostoda cordatum, or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that. One of the pieces you need to collect in this game is the Geiger counter, but when it is brought back to the ship, Olimar mentions not knowing what it's supposed to do, but that the needle goes off constantly. Well, a Geiger counter is actually used to measure radiation, suggesting that the planet they're on is full of it. This could also suggest that Pikmin takes place on planet Earth, after a nuclear war that destroyed everyone and only left weird mutated creatures. That's a bit creepy, isn't it? If you still have your Pikmin copy around, well, open up the instruction manual to page 23 and check this out. There's a typo! It spells holdong instead of holding. Funny stuff. If some of your Pikmins are drowning in the water, well, quickly throw some blue Pikmins and they will instantly help them out the water. Friendship is magic. If you have a Pikmin save file on the GameCube's memory card, you'll receive a Captain Olimar trophy in Super Smash Bros. Melee. There's a few unused models left on the Pikmin disc. One of them is called Kuribo.mod, which is a funny looking model of a Goomba from the Mario series. and there's also Mario.mod, which is a very large model of Mario. There are also models of a key and a door, probably suggesting that at one point you had to collect some keys to open up some doors that led to secret items and stuff. Not only are the models present, but the door unlocking mechanic is also fully working. The music for Pikmin was composed by Hajime Wakai, who worked on Pikmin 2, Zelda the Wind Waker, and Nintendogs. All of these games feature calm and soothing tracks. Olimar comes from the planet Hokotate, and the name for this planet actually comes from Nintendo of Japan's headquarters address, which is 111 Kamitoba Hokotate-cho. Interesting. So if you see this egg while you play Pikmin, I suggest not attacking it until you are ready to fight the hardest enemy in the entire game. The Smoky Prog is very dangerous and can instantly kill Pikmins with its poison gas. Destroying it rewards you with 100 Pikmin seeds though, so it might be worth it if you're actually good at the game. There are 3 different possible endings to Pikmin, which are related to how many spaceship parts you recovered after the 30 days. The best ending is when you recover them all, and it shows Pikmins fighting on their own after Olimar leaves the planet. The average ending is when you get the 25 mandatory parts, and in this one, Olimar leaves the planet, but Pikmins don't get to fight on their own yet. Finally, if you don't get all of the mandatory parts, well, you'll get the bad ending, which shows Olimar's ship crashing back on the planet, and after that, Olimar is being turned into a Pikmin himself. The North American box art features the Bulborb and some Pikmins fighting, which is quite intense, but the Japanese box art just features the 3 types of Pikmins just chilling, having the time of their lives. The icon for the Switch HD port of Pikmin actually brings back those 3 Pikmins relaxing, no matter the region you download it from. Pikmin was ported to the Wii in 2008 under the New Play Control series of games, and featured motion controls that were actually pretty good. A bit earlier this year, the game was also re-released for the Nintendo Switch and now features beautiful HD graphics. Pikmin sold 1.6 million copies on the GameCube, making it the 17th best-selling game for the console. It wasn't as popular as Miyamoto wanted it to be, but with the recent release of Pikmin 4 on Switch, I'm sure things will change, as this game series is definitely something special that everyone needs to try at least once. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. If you did, smash like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!